Happy Halloween, everybody. Ghost Boy here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So each year on my channel, I usually make two different top 10 best Halloween horror movie videos. And last year, I got inspired to do another top 10 list, but only discussing horror movies that took place at haunted attractions or haunted fun houses. Because I don't know why, but there's so many movies with that same premise. So many that it's basically become its own horror subgenre. Movies like The Funhouse Massacre, House of Purgatory, Haunt, The Houses October Built, Hell House LLC, The Barn Part 2, The Scare House, Haunt Season, Talon Falls, Hallows Eve, and that's just a few examples off the top of my head. All of those movies have almost the exact same premise. It's always one of two things. Either a group of people go to a haunted attraction, but there's a real killer on the loose who starts murdering everyone. Or it's a group of people who go to a haunted attraction, but the place is actually haunted. Typically by evil spirits, but sometimes monsters as well. But anyways, I realized I had talked about over half of those movies on my channel, so I scrapped the idea. But then I remembered something. Something odd. Something crazy. Something strange and unusual. And unnaturally coincidental. In the year of 2018, 3 movies were released. All 3 films had almost the exact same premise. And all 3 films had very similar names. Each film featured the word fest, and those films are Bloodfest, Hellfest, and Fright Fest, also known as American Fright Fest. I've seen all 3 movies, but I've only ever discussed one of them on my channel before, and I've been wanting to re-review that film for a long time. So today, that's what I'm going to be doing. Today, we're finding out the answer to the age-old question, which fest is the best? So without any further ado, let's begin our list. First up, we're going to be discussing Fright Fest, also known as American Fright Fest. On Halloween night, a small town's horror festival, which is being held at an abandoned mental institution, becomes a real-life nightmare when murderous prison inmates turn up to join the fun. Okay, so I put off watching this movie for a while because of the awful poster that makes the killer look like a knockoff Leatherface. But in the actual movie, the design of the killer looks a lot better and definitely more intimidating. So in this film, the mayor of a small town is trying to get re-elected and decides to produce a special Halloween event by hiring a famous horror movie director who has recently become a drug addict, and he creates a House of Horrors celebration for the whole town. But very similar to Halloween 2018, a bus of prison inmates is being transferred, and when the bus crashes, 2 of the prisoners escape and show up to the Fright Fest. One of the prisoners is definitely a deranged psychopath serial killer, and he starts going on a bloody killing spree at the festival. And the other prisoner may or may not be innocent and wrongly convicted, but you really aren't sure what to believe, so you'll just have to watch the movie and find out for yourself. Now I'm going to do a pros and cons list for this film. The pros are, it is really fun, the setting and location is very cool and creepy, there's a high body count, meaning a lot of people get murdered, and there's also a pretty cool twist revealed. But now for the cons. My main complaint is that this movie is pretty standard and cliche. Really nothing new or creative that you haven't seen done before. And the biggest problem with this film is the ending. It was very, very confusing. And I don't know if I'm just dumb and didn't understand it, but I couldn't understand what happened or what exactly they were implying. But overall, this movie is still pretty fun and entertaining. And if you enjoy these types of horror movies that take place at haunted attractions, then I'm sure you'll enjoy this one too. Just don't expect anything absolutely amazing. Next up, we're talking about Bloodfest. Fans flock to a festival celebrating the most iconic horror movies, but the attendees soon discover that the gore is not fake, and they must fight to survive the night against the murderous maniacs and monsters. So what separates this movie from the others is that it's not just a slasher with a serial killer running around killing everyone. I mean, there are still serial killers running around murdering everyone, but there's also vampires, werewolves, zombies, clowns, and various other monsters. And I thought that was very cool and creative, because in these types of movies, we usually only get one masked killer. This film also has tons of references to Saw, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Psycho, and many other horror movies. I also really enjoyed the three main characters, especially Jacob Batalon's character. He's hilarious and awesome in everything I've seen him in. If I had to describe this film in one word, it would be fun. But unfortunately, I'd be lying if I said this movie was scary. I'm very picky when it comes to horror comedies because I feel like they're always more comedic rather than scary, and that's definitely the case with Bloodfest. It tries to be a meta horror comedy similar to Scream, but even with all the monsters, I never found myself feeling frightened, even from the jump scares. But with all that being said, Bloodfest is a love letter to fans of the horror genre, and I did connect with this film and found enjoyment in it. And I would definitely recommend giving it a chance, especially if you're in the mood for something more silly and fun rather than dark and disturbing. And now, the answer to the question we've all been waiting for. Which fest is the best? And the answer is Hellfest. On Halloween night, a group of friends head to Hellfest, a ghoulish traveling carnival that features a labyrinth of rides, games, and mazes. But they soon face a bloody night of terror when a masked killer turns the horror-themed park into his own personal playground. So for me, this isn't just the best fest movie. This is the best film in this whole subgenre of haunted attraction horror films. And I think the reason for that is because it manages to be really fun, but also very dark and disturbing. With these types of films, they either manage to be really fun and comedic, but not scary at all, or very dark and sinister, but not fun at all. But somehow, Hellfest manages to do both of those things, and it seems to be perfectly well balanced. The characters in this film are all very humorous and energetic, so when they're running around the amusement park having a good time, you almost feel like you're experiencing that same amusement. And this film stars Bex Taylor Klaus, who I know and love from the MTV Scream TV series, as well as Amy Forsyth from A Christmas Horror Story. But this film also stars the late, great horror icon, Tony Todd. And I'm just guessing here, but I think whoever made Hellfest was a big fan of Final Destination 3. Because Tony Todd plays almost the exact same type of character in Hellfest that he did in Final Destination 3. Both of those films take place at an amusement park, and in both of them, Tony Todd's voice plays over the speakers, almost as an announcer welcoming people to the park, but also talking very ominously, trying to scare everyone. In Final Destination 3, it was just a voice role, we never actually saw him. But in Hellfest, it's his voice as well as a physical role as a supporting character. I love Final Destination 3, and I thought it was awesome to see him in this playing such a similar role. He's definitely one of the highlights of Hellfest for sure. Another one of the best parts of Hellfest is the setting, location, and stylish cinematography. I love all the different fun houses, mazes, and carnival rides. Plus, all the vibrant, eerie lighting in this movie. It just adds a lot of atmosphere and tension to the already frightening scenes. And there's something very unnerving about the killer in this movie. He just feels very realistic. And I won't spoil anything in the film, but the ending is really unsettling and disturbing. And as for the design of the killer in this film, I thought he looks pretty badass and creepy. His mask is very memorable, and he uses a wide variety of weapons. One kill in particular is paying homage to Michael Myers in John Carpenter's Halloween 2. Overall, this is honestly one of my top 5 favorite horror movies to watch around Halloween time every year. And it is without a doubt the best fest that I could ever suggest, and a million times better than all the rest. Well, everybody, that's the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wickedly wonderful Halloween.
Wait. You're the one that's been following me all night, aren't you? Okay, stop. I'm scared, okay? Is that what you want to hear? Now leave me alone.
Hellfest, hell yes. Bex is the best. Hellfest, hell yes. The wicked get no rest. I just wanted to have some fun, cause it's Halloween. But now we're on the run from a killer, and everybody screams. Being followed in the dark at an amusement park. Got stabbed in the heart, yeah, that's gonna leave a mark. Let's go on another ride, I promise I'll stay by your side. And if we have to run and hide, I swear that I won't let you die. Went for a ride on the Ferris wheel. Wanted to tell you how I feel. Went for a ride on the roller coaster. I hope and pray this nightmare's over. Hellfest, hell yes. Bex is the best. Hellfest, hell yes. The wicked get no rest. I just wanted to have some fun, cause it's Halloween. But now we're on the run from a killer, and everybody screams. I thought this place would be harmless, but there's a killer lurking in the darkness. All night he's been stalking us. I don't know who I can trust. I don't know what to do, but I'm concerned. He's wearing a mask and his face looks burned. Being followed in the dark at an amusement park. Got stabbed in the heart, yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.